best of luck. These sort of players, you think, you know, they're your firepower. They're the players that you can depend on to get these kills in the bag. So far, they're all, what, sub 8 kills, if I'm not mistaken, towards the lower end of the entire board. Now, for most players, I give them benefit of the doubt, right, Rich? You give them a little wiggle room there, but these are household names.
This caliber to be located on the leaderboard, you know? ENCE, TSM, FaZe Clan up there, Liquid top. I mean, hell. It's starting to be the battle of the bands up there. Michael doesn't. Everyone else just open fires on him. He either fights one team in front of him or one team behind. Is he going to attack it? Yes, he does. Gets the dink straight to the head. That's a 2-tap. Out of the car we go. Instant nade. Michael thus far for Redline. Oh, they're only playing
shots back. This is a very dangerous scenario for Michael.
It is. You can probably just wait this one out and eventually see the bleed out. Wookie Bucky does get flushed. Oh, different angle. Okay, well, that's a nice response. Puts Tommel on red alert. Pixel is there. He might be able to follow up on this one, at least finish off and complete what he did. Straight to the head and laid down. It was a valiant attempt coming out of Ivus. They want a bit of revenge here. So Michael has sparked the fuse to this one previously. He's in the vehicle and tries to get away. Will he find the same fate? 6 times spray. No connection thus far. Michael away with his life.
Too. So Liquid down a player, seeing Unity suffering. The southeast coast is about to be littered rich with teams. GF down there.
You're going to be on. Again, with how big the circle will be, you won't be far regardless. Michael onto the back of Apocalypse. Easy kill, easy frag, easy point. Thank you very much. I can continue. And again, all these teams that are still up here. You got North. Page does have an eye in it. We'll probably check in that fight a little bit later on. Melman down from Miraku. That's the minute getting the job done. You can see BSD cycling the frag nades now. A bit of damage has been done to him, so it's kind of stayed his feet. Could be sent for TSM. Depends which angles you'll be seeing from the side of Tornado Energy. And Vard, if you get this knock, which you can, that'll be good. That's the little bit of the opener that they needed, Lauren.
That's lovely work from Vard there. Very swift. Towards the west, more land to be had there, so the full circle could fit. Northern Lights on the full send. Let's keep our eyes on Vard, though, here. Angering Tornado Energy is not something you can do lightly at this point. Now, TSM and Tornado Energy can be in this battle for some time. They're not in a hurry. They've got the slow side to play with, and they'll be okay. Someone who's going to be in the action right now is FaZe. They want to keep this clean to get into a good position late game, and they've done just that. Fuzzface, 8C, good, clean kills. Now, I'm pretty sure that's GF, whereas the rest of them going towards the Wildcats. There's no rest for the wicked here. FaZe do well. Hopefully they don't overextend, because they're about to get a little bit of attention from T-Bone there. There's Levin. Already getting a couple of shots in the barrel. Never easy to tame, but certainly can do the work when wanted. She created is going to find Tico, and, well, it looks like this might be all but over. Levin really needs to make this one work. Just taking the time. Does get outdone. Party Beetle hits the prone, 5 HP. That'll do nicely.
You'd assume that he'll be able to get the res here. He'll more than likely go for the heal first. And I'll hold it a second because Melman's actually taken down Vard. Quizip straight onto Thex as well. So 2 players simultaneously of TSM have gone down. Can they push the advance here? They've already lost Alia earlier on. Goes for the overpeak with 3 HP. The 2-for-1 nade is actually done. That's a good nade coming out of IW. So game frame, unfortunately, they came into this as last place, and that's how they exit the first one. Ira has killed his teammates. He may have been throwing down... You'd have to assume that he accidentally threw the nade instead of the smoke. To kill them both like that is devastating. And TSM, well, they follow suit after game frame. That has to be a mistake, surely. You don't kill 2 of your knock players with a grenade for no reason whatsoever. Team Liquid and Northern Lights, unfortunately, they clashed in the same compound. Through the fire, the flames, and the hole in the door, Mexy's holding up top.
Yeah, the issue is for Liquid, they don't have much ground to work with. James is their man to try and dig him out of it, but he's just been found. Now, all of this happens. The Penguins are getting curious, but they're not pushing. So for now, Liquid are in all kinds of trouble. Mexy wants to try and do the damage now, while the player's knocked. Such a great time for the push. So many points. He knows it. He's done really well here, and he's going to cost them so much potentially. But Tulins has to... Oh my god, the mistakes are coming through. That's a flush on his own guy. We're seeing this so often, so many quick errors happening. Now Liquid have lost, obviously, in their own side. James now dead, can't be recovered. Ibby on the chase, tries to get this one dealt with swiftly before Batulins becomes a bigger problem. Deep's not flushed yet, but he's not in a good shape either. Mexy. Mistakes being made here, peeking in like that. Untradeable in the end, and we know those right side peaks are like. Batulins, Liquid, Ibby on barely any HP.
Tulins keeps going. This could be a 3 versus 1, and it is! Oh, he's done it again. We saw it last week. He did the damage with the Groza. If he can also get the revival, that would be huge. That would be massive. But Tulins, what a time to strike, and he does it with so much precision. Redline goes down in 13th place while this is going on. Mika and Co from WP onto IW, just holding them back. It comes down to BSD. It's a 1 versus 1. There is potential. No, it's not. Absolutely. It's a 3 versus 1 in the form of the Wildcats as they do fall. With potential, they'll carry on, picking up 4 frags to boot as well. That was just complete carnage in a bottle. What a mess across the map. And all of a sudden, as the circle updates, well, the central riverbed that flows through it all, that's an open dugout. That's an entrenchment if I've ever seen one. But many teams will probably try and... One is massive, but getting him a player scraping the bottom of the barrel with potentials eliminate? What?
Straight into all
3 of them must have been in the same vehicle, surely, or something, but whatever works.
Only trying to get in. Southwest approach for them, but the Penguins are in the way, and the nades are good. Zorf bounces it to Besto, and Na'Vi are in a bad spot here. They've got to work forward. This,
transitions to their gameplay, being able to take these fights, make pushes, make advancements that normally would seem rather uncharacteristic for this roster. Melman going down on a different side, a different fight altogether. Set will fall. That's Omakan doing the damage to him 1 by 1. Lazar outside of the blue. You should see and expect him to bleed out any second. Example still looking for Lipson. Eventually last man standing. Yep, job done. 10th position will be on their tombstone. Example, Quizit, then get the revive on their comrade and get themselves back on the feet. But the blue is on their back and they're moving slowly. Scooby, heavily damaged, but his teammates can come around off the back of this push. Looking through the window, baits it. Flashbang out. It's a little bit too far. Jumping shot comes through. Doesn't catch him just yet, but the push is in. Scooby's fallen. Kemba sees him on the back lines, and all of a sudden, Nuclear Penguins, they're pushed inside, and they are being battered inside their own compound, Lauren.
This is nuts. Na'Vi look pissed off and they look good when they get angry. Tabs found Hellscream. This is clinical. It is an absolute clinic. Look at these guys sweeping through it like the plague, just taking down anything in their path. And now you have to hope for the same thing between these two teams here. Tempest down to 3, losing life earlier towards Michael. Now left to deal with the Finns. Close by, but not in each other's compounds just yet, but close enough to not be comfortable. Omakan went for an interesting rotation while all this happened. They went from the east side to the south. Now, that does potentially open them up to clashing with Na'Vi if they both meet in this direction, or getting found by FaZe. So that's what we need to look at here. Now, the 2 big fights, or the 2 big teams in maybe 3. Omakan, Na'Vi, do they clash? And this fight on your screen right now, that's the first step. Tommel insta-flush and clip down low. They could push this, and they really should. A couple of dead nades here and there, dangerous. And if we get that classic squeaky, it's looking good. Smoke in hand. Does manage to take 1, but I think this is all but over. It looks like Ents overwhelm, use the numbers perfectly, unless Pixel, the man with the barrel, could do something, but already tagged up by Uber, it's not looking so hot.
Oh, they're not keeping track of him. He's allowed indoors. I wanted to touch on the smoke that Ents had thrown his way. His job was to hold them outside of that cabin, deny them entry to the clean sweep. I know they're going to come out on top, or in theory they should do, but they should not have lost that 1 player. That could have been easily handled if they'd have just kept a track of downstairs. But I suppose when you're at this stage in the game and there's plenty of teams looking around you, you're looking for your next entry point, it becomes difficult. Fuzz face down, initial nade up. Omakan making the push and advancement against FaZe Clan.
And Na'Vi are watching this with bated breath, just over the ridgeline. With Fuzz face down, this puts the likes of FaZe in a bad spot here. This smoked up battlefield could be the death of them, and Na'Vi are waiting to claim the victor, whomever that may be. Omakan trying to use the high ground here, but they only find Gustav. But here's the flank from Page. It's good. It's really good work from Page. Keeping things in the right direction, but can't outdo Uber. Uber keeps things just about competitive, but another trade comes in. Nice work from Omakan. But again, both suffering such huge casualties. T-Bone can't quite get involved. He needs to get Vascu back on his feet.
Chempt is playing mop-up duty. Try and deny the reses, and he's doing it on his own.
Ents on the way.
Wiped. It comes down to Uber. You can see Ents lurking in the back lines. Are they here to clean sweep this through?
Yeah, they're pushing
really
right now. This is a big
and honestly,
fight.
I don't blame them. Tixnu with the initial one, but with Omakan looking onto this, they've actually suffered casualty themselves, Lauren. So they get them at range, and the smokes will come down.
On the board, Na'Vi holding the line, trying to stay patient. playing smart. Rustamar, good work. Diggory, even better. That's 2 big kills back to back. Push it now. Try and get into this now. Get that final player down so you can at least maybe stand a chance. But Na'Vi wait so patiently. The beast from the east, so cautious, not overstepping. Ents, cool as ever. The Finns stoic, approaching now Na'Vi. It's not a bad idea now if they do get distracted, but it doesn't look like they are. Na'Vi well and truly aware. Ents have to land some bangers to get past them.
15 level 1 helmets and damaged shirts on the side of Na'Vi, so they're not invincible altogether, but a good stop onto Diggory will spell trouble. If they advance to make the push here, corner on the backside as well, they've actually got them stuck completely. They've just walked them into the open arms of Tornado Energy, and this is why it becomes so difficult for Ents. There's nowhere to go, and we are left in a circle with 3 CIS rosters. The battle will continue. Northern Lights in the middle with the priority compound. Other on the north, Quizzy, an example, will sit it for Tornado Energy. Na'Vi, yes, you've got 4 players up. Get the kills, they'll give it up to the blue. Remember, Na'Vi is down the lower side of the board alongside the Northern Lights, so neither of them.
Na'Vi are pushing. They don't want to let them take these kills away. Na'Vi want these points, and they're going to get these points. Senya, excellent play. Deep now in trouble. Going to use that final bit of utility that he's been able to gather from the likes of Liquid and all the other teams that they took down. But while this happens, Tornado Energy moves further ahead, closes the gap, gets more central. You had Kemba and Tab trying to hold them back, but simply put, it was too much to handle. Tornado Energy had great positioning. And now that's even better. Na'Vi a little split up here. Besto has to now leave Senya to rot. There's no saving him anymore, but lurking in the smoke on the other side is Deep. And Besto's waiting for that moment, and they're right next to each other. Can you believe it? The wild spray. No one can see each other. Deep's out of bullets. He's got nothing left. SLR to hand. This is messy. This is scrappy. This is not what I expect. Besto prone down, trying to avoid the default fire, but he can't do it. Nice work. Trade, though, from Kemba. Kemba still trying to stay alive, down to the 2 final teams, but 1 shot should end it. And this should be Tornado Energy. Surely he's dead. Surely he's done for. Maybe there's life in him yet, but you can't imagine much. How much further can this man go? I don't understand how he's still standing. Barrel to hand, though, Rich. There's danger afoot. There's danger aplenty. Prone's back down, but everything's ruined. It's all broken. And so are his chances. 10 kills.
Or the bottom of the table do good, because it just kind of gives us a more even game. Unfortunately for GF, coming in at 16th and going out at 16th, these boys have got a lot of work to do, even if they want to be getting up to the top 10 at this stage, to be honest. It feels a little bit rough for them, certainly out of their depth here. I mean, I'll always commend anyone who's made it to the grand finals of this. This is essentially what PUBG European Major. And
I honestly thought they'd have to move away from there. I thought they would be screwed, but actually it played quite nicely. Risky cross, maybe unnecessary from Bogger. Not having the information that Vard was that close, but you can't be making mistakes at this point, especially against these caliber of teams. They will find you, they will punish you. And again, now we're seeing what happens. This is why you can't cross that road for TSM, in my opinion, is that Tornado Energy have perfect vision on that. Miraku with a car could make a bit of a play for it. And I think he's doing just that. That's a risky play for Miraku to get over there. Iroh's joining him. Yeah, they want this all to themselves. They want this this side of it too. So it's risky, but they're going to use Vard as their kind of hold.
I won't say impressive. I just say lucky. Nades go down in return. One of them's actually bounced off the back here. Lipson decides to run his teammate over. That's not good.
Look
for
at this
players
San Martin.
Look
at this. Look at this.
What in the
We've
world?
got Northern Lights, you've got Tornado Energy, GF, you've got Redline. They're all there. And honestly, Michael, I feel, is just going to come alive in these moments. The man's super scrappy, super nasty with the way he plays, and it's really good fun. But now Batulin's big gamer himself. Oh, what an answer from Michael. He goes down to the end. The repeat. 3 HP is the difference. It ain't much between the two, but Michael does get flushed, and that's going to be a big loss for Redline. But here come FaZe. Everyone is full sending to San Martin.
Yeah, that's a straight-up DA into San Martin. Rather unfortunate for Uber. One of the stronger players here on FaZe Clan does go down during the rotate. FaZe... Ooh, Fuzzface actually fallen as well. Party Beetle sees him. Nixties goes down. Transition time for a lot of these teams, and unfortunately it's going to be the test of time as Mexi finds Pixel. That's going to be instant confirmation onto the side of Tempest, so 1 point going the way of Team Liquid. That's out in the distance as well. Clib trying to run away from all of this one. We forget about the Nuclear Penguins. They have a direct line of sight into this fight. So it comes down to TSM, if they get a knock, to instantly try and confirm that kill. Get the flush, get the point. Good shot.
Careful, because he could be wrapped on. could focus on Clib and then lose out, but that's a nice off angle from Vard. Vard keeping him safe. The flush is there, but I think there's still Tomil around. Yes, Tomil is still around, but now very alone, very isolated. And TSM, of course, know there's still a player up somewhere, and he's probably in this area. And Vard insta-pushing it, geared up, looking pretty confident, loses out. Flush there for Tomil, 4 HP. A lot of these players are being left on like 3, 4 HP. And there's a flush through. Unfortunate to lose out on Vard there, but not much more to be done about it. But look who this kind of too aware, too cautious, just peeked that ridgeline at the right time, and now the flushes are coming in. Fex, lovely work from him.
Damn, okay, that's another one as well. The SLR at range onto Mexi. This could be liquid. All said and done, it is. Quick cheeky nade. Nice Kobe coming out of Fex, and K-Mind is out of there. All right, 15th place. That ain't good. Job to see what's going on there and to find any free places to go. But it didn't work out. It leaves them in a 3v1 to a 2v1 to a 1 versus 1. Mexi falls as well. Do you know?
I don't think he knows. I think he's just being cautious.
Set arguing with the blue here. It's all the way up against the... Oh my god, he saw him. All right.
The problem is they lost out another player. They just... Who did they lose out on? Was it Spyro? I'm trying to see who they just lost out on. Yeah, Tornado Energy needs to be careful, but so far they've got the upper hand. They'll get time to readjust their positioning. Na'Vi just found Hellscream as well. That goes Unity. Shocker. Absolute shocker of a performance. Ends keeping them locked in, and good stuff from Ends. Yeah.
All game. And I think it's time for them just to make an advancement here and try and hit these compounds. If you want to hit the flat area just off the backside of it, maybe even go for the rocks, there is potential that they could just squeeze themselves in there and set up shop. Zorf's like, you know what? Let's go out in style. Bumf. Mid-air collision, unfortunately, with a bullet. Bites it. Apocalypse. Easy point. Easy frag. Nuclear Penguins down and out. TSM have made it into the plateau. So far, Mika, do they know you're hiding in those boxes front and center for the rest of WP with all 3 players still up behind him as well?
Or
Evolution actually started off.
Well, Evolution was one of the higher end fraggers for that team as well, keep in mind. If I'm, Mika or Micah, however you want to say it, I hold the cross for my teammates and ensure they can then make the fight out. You've got Himan holding the cross, you've got everyone else there. So that would be my opinion of how to approach it. You don't need someone actively fighting from there because they're isolated. Regardless of that, you got Redline straight up pulling into this as well. They're going on towards the cliff side here. So that's going to be Na'Vi, the Wildcats up. Oh, everyone's piling in to grab some of these kills. Ivers down, QBE down, Redliner eliminated. It was a last-ditch attempt, not much more to be done. Na'Vi just suffered a casualty, though. Don't forget that one just snuck in on the kill feed there. Senya was just knocked, if I'm not mistaken, so Na'Vi under fire. Blaze going to try and get in on the action there. But while all this happens, you're seeing WP, TSM, just constant state of unrest. And for TSM, they have to shift around to the front side of the compound now. Northern Lights get vision towards Tornado Energy. Bit of vengeance going to come through. Melman goes down. I don't think there was a knock there. Blaze full sending in. There is room. We might have the city 39. Ending potentially at this point.
39 alive for this circle is crazy. Phase 6. It's pulling for south. You're hitting the snaking road. There is literally, you have to take these fights. If Na'Vi can clear them out on the rocks first, that would be phenomenal. 10 kills. Here we go. Killing spree for TSM. This is what you like to see. Looked away, but all but a moment. Rupture goes down. That's the initial frag. Where's the other 2? Push them, find them, flush them. That's all you've got to do, and you control the rocks. Then you can look at the 2 teams behind you. That's the bigger problem. Back of them. All right, this becomes a little bit more dangerous for teams like Na'Vi, teams like IW. You wanted to face them and fight them in the open. Now TSM's downwind of you, this becomes so much more problematic.
It certainly does. BSD, Levent, both there waiting. Besto, big nade to find Evolution. And Na'Vi going to enjoy gatekeeping them out of this. If they go towards them, Na'Vi get the kills. That's one of the GF players down and out, but not flushed yet. Still, more kills going to come in as Rustaman knows that there is a time limit on this and they've got to get moving. It's not easy to breach and clear compounds, but now you're going to see Na'Vi starting to clear up the points here, finding Evolution this time, but confirming it. But Vascu just found Tab, and that is from the center of San Martin, southeast side. So again, just consider everyone can see this hillside in some way, shape, or form. It is very hard to keep yourself safe from all angles, and we're finding that right now with potential. As soon as they had to make their move, they went down.
It looks like a big old push came out of GF, unless it was the other way around and then just wanted done with it. Senya. Oh my god, it was actually Fex who came back, saves him for all but a moment, and now he goes down, so it's literally an event. The last player standing, and TSM, by pushing down towards that snaking road, it's paid off so big. They keep control of the top area. Yes, it is pulling away from them slowly but surely. But if they can now take down the vent, this gives them full height advantage and rock control. All the teams downwind of them, let them just batter each other. Let them kick the living bats of hell out of one another, and you boys are just scraping the edge of the circle, so they'll be in, but will be extremely deadly. I reckon just pull back for a second, over peak, and it's job done. That was the one player they needed to get rid of. He's inside the circle, so that should be an easy revive. Depends where the circle goes now and how much harder it becomes for TSM, because that's a Death Valley run if I've ever seen one, should it be unfavorable. Out of the line of sight for Jempty so you can get the res off onto Vasco.
T-Bone and Page are over.
Oh, Digger in. That's a good amount of shots as well. They are. But they're sharing pretty much the smallest amount of room ever. Vasco's also fallen down to the blue again. Okay, so he may have just got him back on his feet. Jempty will fall. Spyro, different angle as well. Steals the kill from FaZe Clan. Aitzy goes down. Fuzzface burns him. Oh, no, 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 no. That's a bit of a mistake, unfortunately. Vasco out to the blue. He was knocked by a team. Excuse me, no, he wasn't. He actually knocked by the blue as well. So that's an instant one taken away. You said N should push, Lauren. That's exactly what they're doing. But the angle from T-Bone's disgusting.
I mean, it's through smoke. Like, what are you meant to do for Ents? I mean, they've done everything potentially they could, but now they've got bigger problems. So, Omikun, yes, they tried to capitalize on Ents' misfortune, but while this happens, you got attention now being drawn from Northern Lights. TSM need to leave the hill, and that's pretty much a death sentence all day long. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong, and we'll catch up on that. I want to see what Ents are doing. That's a really fun one. They've had to make the way across the road. Gustav's Molly already greets Tixu and puts him down. A little unfortunate, but it's how it goes. Diggory in the building. Squeaky's there. Maybe they can still hold on to this. You can see Omikun 3, as soon as Tixu tries to make it over, he's dead. But it could bait out for Ents to make a push if they wanted to. Again, that's very brave. But for now, we have 3 teams stuck across the road here. You have Omikun, south side, FaZe, center, and Ents top. And then on the other side, yeah, again, this is not surprising seeing any team picking up TSM. They're stuck up on that hill. They can't make it down cleanly. On the other
kicking off below, there might be an opportunity to try and make something happen. Nope. Vectic spots them both. Miraku. Fex dives to the zone as well, says, now we're not giving that one up, not a problem. So a point in reserve goes the way. Look at how many smokes are up though, Lauren. Everyone has to run. This zone is going to kill you. And if it doesn't, the players in front of you most certainly will do. This is going to be wild. Northern Lights. All the teams on the opposing side of the road, it's time for them to dig deep and pick up some frags. Page fires back. T-Bone on the floor. Might be able to just get him up. Northern Lights again. We said all these ones over on the opposing side are just going to strike. They're hungry for 3 points through the smoke. He dives in. Aitzy. Post space. Still plenty of health in the bag. Blue on the back. You can't get touched by this HCO. This will indeed kill you. Don't jump up. Get across. Don't let it touch you. Go, 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 go. Smokes are there. He actually gets the kill as well. That's bloody good. He does have the wall to work with. He has a smoke. He might even be able to get the res off of it. That is phenomenal for FaZe. And if he gets that through that crack, he does. He gets example. That's huge.
Okay, let's keep this vertical because Blaze are now sweeping from the north. This is going to be the clear-up crew. Can anyone stop them? So far, no. You do see Spyro putting up some damage towards Lipsin. That's going to slow it down. Northern Lights trying to hold their position as long as they can, but they have to move. Everyone else has already started that maneuver. Northern Lights about to leave the compound they're in. You can see this is forced Tornado Energy to fight Blaze. That's a really nice approach. Potentially for Northern Lights, this could work out well. They could turn up as the third party rather than the ones engaging. However, these two taking chunks out of each other. Example down low, but Lazar down lower. Quizzy there to get it done. Now, Rip9, smoke goes in. They're trying to build a bit of a wall themselves, but now here comes Northern Lights. They've finally turned up. They've left the compound. They're working through the crates. 4 players too. That's a massive amount to play with. But now Rip trying to move around that smoke. Look how much smoke is down here. If anyone wants to count it, good luck. I can't count that high. It's too tricky. But this is going to come down right to the final moments here. Perfectix does find Apocalypse. They're already going to work through it, but Batulins is down, but he gets good vision. Information found. Spyro getting across Alia. Right next to him to deep finds Alia. This is good work from Northern Lights. Rip now the last one standing for Blaze. He's going to just crash into the 2 Tornado Energy players. Oh, he's taken down 1, but he gets traded on. Now Northern Lights with 3. Tornado Energy with 1. The nade's not bad. And now you can see Quizzy trying to make a way forward. He can do something about this. There's 2 players knocked. And Deep is there. Quizzy pulls down.
Oh, no, it's gone.
Oh, the fence! He's lifted the fence!
Oh, he pushed it up. We've seen some wild and wonderful stuff within PUBG, but the ending, if you haven't been and seen the last game of PCS NA, please do. It is just gobsmack. And thanks to STK for getting me my pick. Cheers, boys. The Iron Men do it again. Not a fan or anything. But we're speaking about teams who didn't do too well on Miramar. And I think one thing we have to point out, Lauren, is Liquid. We spoke about the consistency. We spoke about how they were doing so damn well on Miramar. In 2 games, they've garnered only 3 points.
The logic in my mind is there's a lot of loot spawns. There's a lot of like potential places for loot to be. I'd rather have a chance to get better loot than sit there on like garbage loot. Speaking of, hold on, what just happened over here? Set just individually killed that many because I saw the rest of Unity. Oh wait, 3 players from Unity
to go there. I'm more intrigued about the circle. Let's see how fun this game does become. Come on, give us the southwest. Hard shift it.
How much did you pay for that?
There you go. I mean, unfortunately, it leaves Quarry in play, but that's so little land to play with for 16 teams.
But who does this play well for? The men on the screen, Unity. Oh, Redline are completely unawares, Rich. This could be a deadly pull-up. Set's got to be careful, though. Did well against 2 earlier, but do you fancy a whole fight against the whole team? Uh-oh, Iverse. That's a one-shot. Any of these bullets will do it. Set, this is huge individual performance from this man. That's a free flush. Might be time to dip out, potentially, because Marv and Michael are now coming over, and you don't really want to outstay your welcome when Unity have such a wonderful compound to fall back to.
They've got such a great area on the map. They'll hear Set rotating away from this, and rightfully so. You touched on it. So you can always lay down if needs must, and it just becomes an emergency scenario. He could put the AWM to good use. It's a little bit hard with the buildings on the opposing side when it comes to Redline. If you're going to get a knock in a building, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be able to get themselves back on the feet. Where to find landfall. So at the moment, FaZe's position is so damn good. Wookie Bookie, Clabe on the defensive. That's 2. Senya moving back onto Cliff. So a bit of a 3-way here. The crash comes in out of IW and Tempest answer it. But unfortunately, death from afar. The smokes are down. Tom was actually pulling the vehicle in front to defend his teammate. I like that. That's a billion IQ play. Will it work, or does he see him through the smoke? If he lands that, oh no! He hits Wookie in the head and then hits Clip as well. They've opened the door and got him in.
Now
we have done so much damage here to Tempest. That's disgusting.
They're actually here because Marv and QBE are in all kinds of danger.
Is it time to strike? Now, has to be the instant confirmation. We said this time and time again, it's okay biding your time, but you have to be aware of that instantaneous reply. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. That'll be a kill on the side of Na'Vi. I would expect QBE, for me, is completely in no man's land to be able to get a hold of this. Ira caught in the heels. Bar tries to shoot back into this one. Jimbo having a fight with the rock himself. Just needs to overlean this one a little bit more. Smokes are down. They'll have to try to deny the revive at the moment. Vasku, the down player, but it's still Canadian in play all the same. Love a good bit of ball action. Smokes are being committed here, and he is looking. This gives him the opportunity to dive in the vehicle. Cloud IW to get up close and personal. He did not want this, especially if any nades come through. Rupture gets the job done. It comes down to Arb. This is rather unfortunate. It's all kind of gone wrong. He had to hold that. He had to deny them landfall. And unfortunately, this might deny game frame from getting above 16th. Orange, the green machine comes into play. Scooby hits the deck. They're down. They're out in 16th. They beat GF to the party, rather unfortunately. Nothing much you can do here. Just try and hold your ground and stay alive for as long as humanly possible. Okay. He actually blocked.
They're blocking each other. Are you... Stop!
Come on, boys. You could have lost your life there, unfortunately. Ira falls again, which suggests that he did manage to get back on his feet. QB actually smashed in the face with a molly. They're out in 15.
Unity and Northern
Na'Vi
Lights,
now have to face off against TS.
Plenty of problems for everyone else. Na'Vi down to just Senya, surrounded on too many fronts. As you can see, TSM right in the middle of it all.
Because of the noise of the grenades and everything else going off. Now it's time to strike, though. He finds 2. Set, what is going on? You've been a madman so far this game. Flushes them instantly. They lose Orange while doing
6 kills.
So. That's the boy with a level 3. Finally, he is quelled. He is crushed. Can they get the shot onto Danamon? It would be huge. Deny the revive. Fexanari, you've got to go now, and you've got to get the job done.
Yeah, get rid of Set. Probably a smart choice there. Nice shot from Fex, showing off himself, the Welsh Dragon. Doing damage to the CIS team. Unity down to Orange and Hiruzen. And well, you can see Iro pushing up. Looks for another. That's deep finding Danny. He knows there's more players here. Batulins, what is going on? Northern Lights on the steal. Orange does well, but he needs to do better. Goes down in the end. The deep turned up. Liquid are on the play as well. So Northern Lights have come in from the southeast, and from the north is Liquid. Just out of camera shot. Pan there it is. This fight got the attention of everyone, and a little late to the party is old Liquid, but let's see if they can survive. Mexi finds Senya. That's a little surprise that was waiting. A team that wasn't necessarily involved. Wookie Bookie threads the needle towards Fuzzface, and Mexi now sweeping through. Has to be meticulous.
Third time will be a champ. Actually going to be a tombstone, unfortunately. Wookie Bookie does go down. Gustav. This is Tempest pushing up on FaZe Clan. We spoke about them moving out of the compound and towards the Longwoods. They actually opted to go more towards the edge of the circle. This is a really good play from them to push up on here, try and deny any entrance. Keep this for themselves. Control the land, but Pixel, he's yet to be tamed. Fuzzface pays the full price with his life. It comes down to all three members. They need this clean. They don't want to be losing anybody else. Squeaky, spotted. That's another player they don't want to be dealing with. Smokes down. Final shot comes through. Uber solidifies his fate and ends his 12th position for them. Tommel bleeding at the wayside. Nothing much, really, I don't think Pixel can do here, but just try and fight. Stand his ground. With 3 players of FaZe Clan, this will be extremely difficult. Mexi has been flushed and finished. That's him gone for now from the Northern Lights. And the circle's been favourable to them. It's been extremely kind. Liquid are held back against the blue as it does push forward. Jimbo down and out. The blue will finish him if Batulins does not. Tommel instantly flushed by Gustav. Does get him as well in the kill feed. Ibby does hand back at least onto the deep. So there's a small avenue of approach here, but the blue has been so dangerous. Ibiza and K-Mind, all the work in the world to do. Tries to run the rocks. Actually kind of pays off. Still not in yet. Still got a big old run to do. This is going to be so difficult against 3 players. Actually, make that 2. Apocalypse joins in at the perfect time. Still getting involved here, removing pressure. TSM's gone. That's Ira. But Liquid, by hook or by crook, Lauren, they're still bloody in this.
K-Mine 10 HP, but he's making the run. He's got to just believe in Ibby to keep him safe for a second or two. Northern Lights suddenly went from hero to 0. Apocalypse, though, does not care. He does not show preference to who he's fighting. And this time, it's going to be Liquid up and over. K-Mine tries to make the play, and Spyro denies it. Northern Lights trying to get everyone back on their feet.
Through this one, the vehicles could be the saving grace. Hit the Harry Potter with all you've got. Pack them up below it. T-Bone. Page with the finish. Lipson in the vehicle. Out the back of it. Good shot from him. Denies the movement. Slows them down. Players are left questioning, where do we go from here? It's an open valley should they advance forward. If they go to the left or the right, they're going to have WP to play with on one side. Or Omicron to deal with on the other. This is not looking good for Blaze. Although it might be looking a bit better now. T-Bone's run his team. Yeah, to run his teammate over. What happened there, boys? Big old push from FaZe. Gonna make it happen. Example, man of the hour. Gets punished, though. Uber, good response. That's massive. That allows them into the compound.
I don't know how they're doing this. They really shouldn't be able to. They are in the middle of no man's land. Uber still alive. Barely Northern Lights. Look at these points. They just jumped Liquid. They are hot on the trail of ends. They are putting...
The best of a bad scenario. You'd have just been playing trees at this point. Good nade coming out of Vazku. Up and over. Gives them the info. With the smokes down as well, they can continue the bombardment. It just trickled in behind. Vazku hits him in the face for good measure when it comes to a K98. And Blade.
And a little bit of threat. Molly's there, but not bouncing quite high enough. And I don't see any lethal grenades left on Northern Lights here, at least in this aspect. Deep's got 1. That's big. Let's see what Deep can do. WP holding back Omicron. This is a replay, but again, I want to look at what's actually going on here, because right now Micah is doing pretty good damage, but Vatsku just cleaned things up. Northern Lights on the push. Take down the Wildcats. Omicron succeed, and as do Northern Lights, but the fight's not over for either of these teams. Tornado Energy pushed out Rich. You've got Alia already out and about on the ideal ridgeline that everyone was going to be battling for.
Moving this team in the middle will make things so much easier. Tornado Energy again. Northern Lights still last 3 standing. This is 3 games in a row now. The consistency coming out from the CIS teams is looking outstanding, and it's paying dividends when we come towards the leaderboard and jumping them up game after game. Omicron now, they're going to wrap low. T-Bone's dead. He's gone. He's unrevivable at this point. 11 kills coming out of Northern Lights. Can you stand your ground? This is the problem for Victix. 2 different angles to hold. Spyro runs in, and unfortunately might be running out here with 2 different exposed angles. It's going to be extremely difficult to get Vazku's. pushing this one. That could be formidable, but turns around, the blue tags him up. Page and Vasco finish it off. Both of them go down. Quizzy has stepped in, though. That's an easy pickup for him. They're getting flushed from behind, though. 3 versus 2. It's going to be difficult. They've not kept a red and a check on where Quizzy is. Vasco says, you know what? We're not having this one. We'll die out to the blue and deny a point. Tornado energy off the back.
Worth watching. You know, when they play together, you get a really good idea. I mean, it was so cool. I was watching, I think it was Fuzzface play with Ibby, and then Senya was in the team with them. And honestly, Senya's comms are like the calmest I've ever heard. He's like such a soft-spoken, like well thought out person. It's quite cool to see. So again, if you ever get a chance, make sure you check these guys out on Twitch whenever they are streaming. But Rich, we're into the game. As James beautifully said, east to west, surely a pretty fair game for everyone here.
It should be, until we get a circle like that, and it more than likely moves towards melee. I know it's not exact super settings, but if you've played ranked, you know how quickly you can be geared up. 2-2 weapons, close combat, long range, instantly. It's such a night and day scenario from public games. It's actually an eye-opener, so I'd recommend if you haven't played ranked, go and do it, and you'll understand why these players...
I mean, again, I want to see how these people approach it. I always think it's quite interesting to see teams that do play on the extremities. Party Beetle did find Scooby there. How they approach it, of course, it's always... It's always a fun thing when you see someone like Na'Vi approach a circle, right, when they play extremities.
It's probably dead at this point. I don't really see what else you can kind of do, especially with the vehicle being so damaged. Up in the ball of flames, but Blaze also, once again, doing the usual thing that they like to do best, which is third party. Onto Zorf. Pull it to the brain, and he will hit the deck. See if any kind of res comes out from that
circle, but it does keep a bit of land in there. Not a lot, but a little. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. This ain't good.
Oh, that shot as well. Danny Mont just nabbing him out. SLR, so nasty. Tico, I don't know what you can do. Desperately trying not to give away too much, but I don't know if he can make it to those rocks and survive. Let's see if... Yeah, Danny Mont spotted him. Tricky, but does go down to the water, which I guess is a blessing in disguise. But beyond that, Northern Lights about to get out.
Pulled out. Jesus, that's a lot of water in for Circle 3. Well, at least we know where the Circle's going for number 4. She created Tex and Nade from Mexi.
Oh, fight in the millie. Hold on.
Seen them before where they actually want to make this clean. They want to... It's one thing that we know, Lauren, about Liquid more recently. They want to clear teams out. They like space and breathing room. They'll happily attack a team, but if they can take their time and just remove them, they'll do that the same. Heal will come out. Gives Jimbo time to reposition. Maybe try and take an adverse angle. I like fights in melee. And like, it's a shame so far that I've not had the chance to cast one of the new runway strips with all the new terrain, but I still think it might be down to the BRDM. There's actually in the water down there. That pond might play a factor with the water settings. I just don't know, but I've not yet seen one.
Yeah, we haven't seen it end around that area too much. We saw one ending that I recall. Now, for Omicron, they actually fought a way forward. Now, I was a bit worried about avenue of approach. Did Gemty see him? Gemty has, like, 10 out of 10 eyes. He is, you know, perfect vision. He's a mile away, and Bogger...
Oh.
What? How is this how you handle it?
Punish him. Run him over. Hit him with a car. I love that. Instead of shooting him, just run him over. You know, whatever
Okay, let's
works.
look at this then. Redline, Na'Vi, Northern Lights, the Wildcats, all getting involved on this western side, and only so many teams here to put the vent. Good. Just casual kickflip. Yep, done. Diggory gonna find the vent, trying to work their way in. Trade comes back out from She Created. Mistake on the window. Tries to make it out, gets denied. BSD, not much of a door to work through, but for now, they've claimed it. Out of nowhere, Swift. Tixu left bleeding in the attic, and just, well, I don't know how that happened. Ents just unawares that it was coming. That 2-2 split gets undone. I thought Ents would have held that, but no, they get outshot, outgunned, and outnumbered. Now, for Northern Lights, Redline, this was the other fight. Redline have lost. They tried to come in towards Na'Vi's hillside. Northern Lights went towards more the coastal side.
Bridge camp.
We're not seeing Omicron on the other side coming across, but you said it. Unity. Oh,
Ooh.
Danny Mon. Oh, it brings me deep joy, Richard. Deep, deep joy. Orange finds T-Bone. Now Danny Mon gets involved. Absolutely whiffs it, but it looked really cool, so I don't care. Orange, feed the beast. Why not? That's the car, not the player. Don't worry, you'll get him eventually. But Gemty And who's the other player left? Paige. What a horrible predicament they're now in. Is it just send across, run away, get to the water, try and swim? What do you do?
I mean, you could hit Shark Fin and go for a
Face third
full-blown
party.
bail, but the issue is that you've already got a team there in the fall. No, Blaze, Na'Vi holding the angle. Spyro actually hits them. Oh boy, that's a big nade and a big gun as well. Spyro wiping Na'Vi out. Good job from him to hold that. Quite impressive, to be honest with you. They had them all there. I'm surprised they didn't manage to take him down simultaneously, but whatever works, right? Nade up. Unity on the receiving end. Does damage to Orange, but doesn't take him out. Uber will just run back. Get out of there and flee the scenario. I'm kind of okay with it. Wait. Jempty, Paige, you've decided to turn and face this one.
But they saw
First
that
aid.
FaZe
Did
was
Jempty get it
shooting
off in
Unity.
time? Oh, he didn't. He missed it. Jempty ballsed it. He was
It's
second
unlucky.
too
I
late.
mean, yeah, Paige is still there, but the problem is, let's look at this. So, good read in a weird way from Omicron to see the Unity are being engaged by FaZe, but that has now stopped. There's still a problem here. Paige turns up late. What? Paige has got Orange. That's dirty, but Paige will go down in the end regardless. So Omicron go down in 12th, but that's the fun of the bridge fights. You gotta love it. FaZe disengaged because they wanted to maybe work out their better positioning on the circle, which is probably the right call there. Peel away, try and get a more, I guess, beneficial fight. Fighting off Unity, yeah, that's not a bad idea, but the better idea is to get to the circle, hold position, and give yourself
gets
enough
a
time to
point.
potentially fight whoever's in your way.
That's crazy. Paige drags a point out of that? Oh my god. A knockout of the back in the blue and he bleeds out. Alright, but still, to grab a point. Evolution, absolute lock on aim, just lasers Lazar out of the water. Job done. Northern Lights, from a team that were all the way up in Zaki, they have done a damn sight better than most. To get to this point, central of the map, damn near with 4 vehicles and 4 players up. This is some good IGL. This is some good rotation and good reads, to be honest with you, to get to this point. Yes, they're not completely and utterly safe, but they can use these vehicles and push them together. If they lose the tires, who cares? It gives you a defensive stance and a bit of cover to work with. Lipsin still on the bridge. By hook or by crook, staying alive, but not for too long. His meds will wear out eventually. Nixties goes down from Dynamon. Camping the bridge has certainly hurt Unity. It's picked him up 5 frags, so, you know, whatever works. Not quite into the top 10 just yet. If you can grab another frag or 2, that'd be nice. Stick points on the board, but certainly they've paid the price heavily for camping back. You have to weigh up the cost. Was it worth it? Could you have gone further in the game had you not sat on the bridge and been... Whereas they work the way towards the roadside. And for me at the moment, it's Tornado Energy who are looking absolutely stellar in the position that they're in.
Is this just going to be Tornado Energy winning every game today?
Thus far when it comes to Frank, but that's what they've been playing up against Tempest. Human forced to fight against Uber. It's not the fight you want to take in a one-on-one scenario. Uber wins those all day long, unfortunately. Sees him with a quick peek. Nice cheeky lean. Gustav comes in, puts the nail in the coffin. Smokes are down for IW, but they're already tanked up. TSM's been just tapping away from the wayside. This blue will do a fair amount of tick damage as they come out. Remove some of their health, and they have to run the gauntlet. It's like a pinball machine at the moment. If you're not going to run into TSM, well, Ents will take the point happily out to the blue. Are they just going to give it up and say no? I think they will. Rupture's running towards it. Really, for me, you might as well just give it up to the blue here, my friend, rather than give points away to other people. That was just a waste. That's another point in TSM's hands that you could have done with not giving away. Stat inside. Smokes are down. Squeaky and Rustum. This could be your last run, boys. She created is spotted. 9 position finally. So he actually makes it out of that compound somehow alive. I'm surprised he didn't just give it up again. Gustav on the side. Pixel. Okay. This is an interesting fight that's been found in the back lines.
Yeah, Tempest went for a push. They kind of left Clib back as their centerpiece, and they pushed out Wookie Bookie, Pixel, and Tomil, and they found FaZe for free. They've kind of peeled away from that. They've done the damage, readjusted position. Very nicely done. Fex has lost life, and this is probably what Ents were waiting on, is just kind of making sure everyone's moving up at the same time. And it's actually not a bad idea. Because of this, it's allowed someone like Liquid to get vision on TSM rather than Ents. Very smart play using the terrain the best they can. But they're being kept safe by a lot of smokes, and once that goes, it's not looking so good. Giants slap bang in the middle.
Calm before the storm. Tornado and Northern Lights will just go for a defensive stand. Now he has to use utility to get out of this position that he's within. Because TSM will be able to see this one, so he's in a minor predicament. Jimbo onto Rustum map. Jobbed.
Very
Wait a second. All right. That's out the front of the door. Rustam sticking the nail
Northern
in the...
Lights 2, 3 targets. Does he take a shot? He's just trying to keep the rest of his team safe. He is isolated from the other 3. He does not want this attention, but he might have to take it. Already, Ibby gonna find Rustamar. There's the shots in the back. Northern Lights did not expect this. Surprise, boys! It's gonna be Clib finding 2 players. Spyro Perfectix go down. Northern Lights was set up to fight Liquid, but not to have a dagger in the back. Batulins and Deep probably frustrated by this. Rustamar has gone down, but it's on Squeaky to try and stay alive. Keep hold of that second position, because Tornado Energy obviously are eyeing that one up desperately. Ibby's found Spyro, so these 2 giants are going head to head. First and fourth. What? Ibby burning them alive. Goodbye, Spyro. Goodbye, Batulins. How are Liquid outliving them here? What a savior Clib is. They better pat him on the back, give him a $5, buy him a beer, I don't know what. But now the tables have turned. Squeaky looks back. He finds Mexi, but now everyone else piles in. This is good, actually. Tornado Energy getting a bit of fire from afar. That's going to mean that they're under a little bit more pressure, but Ents goes down. Locked in at second here, tied with Northern Lights, but Northern Lights still have...
Holding and hoping for has been dashed. Even knocking one and damaging the others allowed Liquid to get involved with the mollies. Ibby knocks one, burns the other alive, and then all of a sudden Northern Lights are down to 2, and then it becomes 1. He's just smashed them completely to bits and thrown it in for disregard. The Deep holding on with the barrel. I mean, he can stand strong on his own and maybe just try and go toe-to-toe with Liquid. That's really all you can do at this point. Uber does go down to Micah. Rest of Liquid able to stand the ground. Jimbo's wrapping towards the northern side of this circle, maybe to try and avoid the fight. I'm seeing Tempest regrouping themselves on this side of the circle, maybe to try and get involved in what Clib's been building up thus far. Back him up, get involved, get stuck in. Example, onto first base. Tommel here as well for the rest of the backup, I want to say. So the one-shot bolt is there and into effect. K-Mine bleeds out. Bye-bye, my friend. Rather unfortunate. Pixel. Tempest with another kill. Remember, they need as many kills they humanly can at this point, given their position within the leaderboard. Ghostface finally confirmed. With potential, they go down in 6th position, finally from the Harry Potter outside of the blue. Itzy denies that. But instantly, again, Example back onto Uber. That's a couple of knocks now on the side of Uber, and maybe this time it's 1 too many. I don't think he can get the revive off here. No, he cannot. He's outside of the blue. He's finished off. Is it only Itzy left for FaZe Clan? I think it is. Ibby onto Tommel, though. That's a damn good response coming out of Team Liquid.
The issue for Liquid is they are down to 2 and they are very isolated from each other. But they're going to do some work. Jeems catching out Alia in the middle of nowhere. Very surprising to see him overextended like that. Maybe trying to secure that next step away from the compounds when it comes down to it. Potentially to face off against the likes of Tempest. You'd feel would be the final battle, right? But it's not to be right now. Tornado Energy just got cut off at the knees. And both CIS teams who looked so powerful at the start of these kind of later end circles have been really, really slowed down. By the man on your screen right here, Clip, definitely a big person to be talking about. Ibby goes down to it, gets flushed 2, leaving just 1 alive for Liquid, and that's going to be Jeems. Pretty disconnected from the others, playing on a plateau pretty far off. Northern Lights loses the Deep, now we're down to 4. Who do we have left here? 8C for FaZe, Tornado Energy.
Men in the land. 80 time to run. If you get this shot, I'd say, oh, no. Denied by Example. We're going to the top 4. I didn't realize that Tornado Energy was playing with 3 players as well, so even playing from the start at a deficit, fair play if you can get further afield. It's allowed Jim to get involved in this one. Catches Melman, completely unaware. Example comes down the corner. Example's got no helmet. Jimbo could get this. The damage is done. What does he do, though? Does he stand his ground against Tempest, pick a vehicle and take the fight? No lethal nades in play.
He's in.
He is. And
he doesn't need to do anything. He wants Tempest to focus on Tornado Energy or anything else. He wants to just try and live. He wants to be the 3rd man because he's a solo. He doesn't have much more to play with, right? Like that's how it goes. But the issue is, of course, leaving that is going to be the next big problem because he has no utility. So for Jeems, it's the gun in his hand that's going to get it done, if anything. Now for Tornado Energy, similar approach. I don't know if they're actually in right now. They are very close to not being in, so I think they're going to have to move around, and that is a really smart idea from Jeems to secure it. Yeah, there comes the blue. Melman, is he in? I mean, barely. He can't leave, and that's now going to be the thing. Jeems can outlive him. Even if it's just for a second, he can potentially do it, and he needs to. Only 1 medkit, though. There we go. Nice work from Jeems to secure 2nd place here. Any more is a miracle. Any kill is a miracle, and he accepts his fate. Great play from Tempest, and I want to just credit Clip.
Even when you looked at Omicron, whether or not it was just, Stallard not catching the comms as such, but Certainly when you saw Jempty moving around, the only person who was speaking was T-Bone at one point, and I think sometimes it is good to, rather than too many cooks spoiling the broth, so to speak, of the old saying, having one person who can just be a focal point, a voice amongst it all to give some clarity. Like, you knowing, there's always those points of knowing what to say and when to say it, but calls can be so condensed and can be so concise. I always remember back in the day when Leighton gave me one of his calls, the right side of the Crow dear. Pull up, set. You did wonders before on your own. Can you do the same again? Do they know? Well, they damn well do now, but have you gone too early? Yes, you have, and it's punished. And Tommel just shoots him in the back, so thank you very much. So, Set, you were a savior in the last game. At this time, everyone's going to be happy should the North come in. Where do we go? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Zaki ending? Zaki? Really? Fields? That is... You got it right. Okay, let's just kind of take into and quantify this.
Or do they just try and back away? I don't know what their options are here, Rich, but they're limited because look, there we go. Zorf just found deep. That's the Penguins. It's the pinch. This is rough.
Push and crack on with it. Petulins is going to
you're
try
a
and
brave
escape
boy.
from his life. A quick, a little bit of a
Oh,
dude.
God,
Was
one
it
shot.
too cheeky? It was. You don't get away with that. You don't beep away at Ents. They punish him. Squeaking, playing on the edge, trying to get out for their lives. Zorf found in the mid, and that's Blaze. We talk about them being a problem. This time it's a bigger problem for the Nuclear Penguins. They go down to 2 different rosters.
They're very, very fighty. Bridge camp here, Rich. Orange on the other side.
Needs to go soon, though, by doing
beautiful.
this. Oh, he gets them both and nails them. Is there a third one to follow as well? Is he actually committing to it? Clib has got out of the car. He's waiting. He isn't going to fall trap to this one. Pixel and Tom will do. Wookie Bookie's actually... Good God, what a horrible, horrible circle. What a horrible transition. This actually could be 1 player, 2 player. I'm seeing a headshot in the distance. Marv's already tanked up as well. That comes in from fire from afar. Michael falls simultaneously. QBE down, and Redline have been dismantled by the red team. FaZe Clan stand strong. Ibis, last man standing. What have you got in the bag? Alia actually comes in. Sees Gustav. So all of a sudden, Tornado Energy have played a factor into this one. This has been beneficial for Ibis. There's now a chance. It's small, but there is a chance.
Dangerous game for Tornado Energy to be getting involved in this. Liquid now know who's where. They've got a good idea of this. Na'Vi straight up crashing towards Ents and Blaze. You can imagine they're going to have a really rough time on this. Ibis, great damage. Big damage from Ibis. Denies Uber, and he almost got 80 down as well. This man is a danger to be dealing with, but can he find even more players?
If he gets this, this is just going to be formidable. I want to go in the back room. Does he expect the push? He does not. IT says, nope, I've had enough of this one. Jumps out. Nail in the coffin. Eliminated 16th place for Redline. Notch that up. TSM do not know his position. And you said, by shooting into phase, you do give away some kind of info. Wookie Bookie onto Danaman. M24 comes into play. That's a bit of a revenge shot coming through if I've ever seen one. That's a distance also. Squeaky. Lazar. Down. Nade comes through from Diggory. Seals the fate on 1 player from Blaze. Moving.
Which is a kind of their saving grace here. Northern Lights kind of going under cover for a little while, but Perfectus did just get found. So they're down to 1 player here, which is a bit of a problem considering they're trying to hold on to that top spot. And you have Ents and Tornado Energy tied, and now they've jumped up. On the flash towards Himan, they've just jumped to 1st place. Not by much. You can see that it's pretty close still. I don't think you can dig that deep here. Bit of a pull-up from TSM. Luckily for Tornado Energy, they found a little bit of a free building to take over. Rip gonna get a free kill on Fex, but I don't know if he can get the flush on that. All the pies, who ate all the pies?
It's proper limping, isn't it? Good God. TSM do get away from it, or at least 1 player does. Give the reposition for Ira. I can look onwards, but he's got problems of himself when it comes to Blaze. That's from... Oh, that nade. That's gone inside. That's going to roll forward. Oh, he does damage. He doesn't find a knock, though. Libsyn's limping his way across this one. Goes toe-to-toe with Fex. Denied. Instantly flushed. There is a shot from a distance, though. Tico gets involved from GF. Vard. What's left in the tank? What have you got left to play with? Absolutely nothing. He's getting battered from a different angle. This is TSM's last stand.
Yeah, Liquid now going to be on the kind of kill hunt. You have a 3-1 split. Ibi, K-Mind, and Mexi all together, and then Jeems isolated. And you can see how close it is. Look at the top. Look at the top 4 teams right now. 113, 112, 112, 111. This isn't that far at all. We'll see how far he can make it in this ditch in the vehicle. Does a desperate attempt of a play. Tech is on the other side. It's hard to find it. Good try from Vard. TSM go down in 15th.
Gets them into the 100-point matter, thankfully. GF, they've been gifted a solid compound within this circle. I'd assume Uber doesn't really go too far in terms of looking where Team Liquid's position are, just off the side of the road in the ditch. Everyone down south, well, this becomes problematic now. Jimbo's holding a very obscure angle, disconnected from the rest of Liquid. Becomes vitally important just to watch the backline to make sure that nobody's going to crash into his teammates. I get it. If he goes down, he's dead, but
that's a huge victory for them. It's not a clean kill, and it's not even a knock at that. So for now, Liquid just have to be on alert that there's someone very close by, and Tornado Energy splitting along that far eastern side. Unity on the move, but how far do they make it? Burning. Vehicle is done, and as is Danimon. Somehow, Orange survives. Ents pushing up. Hold on. Let's have a look, see if Ents make it in. They're going right towards Techers. Blaze might be able to see a bit of them. They've made it in for now. Not particularly long-term safety, but they'll take anything at this point.
Fogger goes down by the vehicle. Rather unfortunate. For some unknown reason, Ents is alive. God knows how. Oh, Apocalypse pulls up and runs Diggory over. Instant flush, instant confirmation. Rustin Mar sees him and spots him. Now they can fight and send it to the back lines. Blaze has made it here. Thankfully for Ents, they just got off the... If he banks this off the side and actually lands this nade, that'd be sick. It pulls him closer. So that is something. They've done a hell of a lot of damage inside, but now the return frags will come through. Banks it off the roof. Does it find Squeaky?
Tornado
Does
Energy
it finish him
sending.
off? Jimbo down. Ibi down. Jimbo's flushed as well. Uber? The lone man band must have caught him on the ridge line. That's the security net removed now for Team Liquid. That was their man standing guard to keep an eye and keep a track on what's going on. Liquid now have to force themselves towards Uber and actually put them out of place, which punishes them. K-Mind hit in the back from Quizzy. You said Tornado Energy could play a factor in all these fights, having the open area around them. Ents
are doing great.
Decimates Blaze Esports and somehow stays alive. Keeps 3 people up as well. Lauren, that's massive.
That's huge. Now, I don't know how much further they can make it here, just because look at the position they're in. It's very hard to transition away from this if it moves towards the fields where someone like Tornado Energy will have the benefit. Although they did just have a player knocked, but Ibi has been flushed here. That's by Gemty. K-Mine trying to crawl a bit close towards Mexi, but Uber is still lingering in the fields like a little velociraptor popping up, hunting him down. Alia finds Rustamar with an aid. That's a big kill again against each other in that top 4 pack. Barely split between them. Omakan trying to find any target possible. Nade not quite in for Na'Vi as Uber pushes up closer towards Liquid, and I think Liquid might be done. Yep, they are out of there. Quizzy claiming K-Mind is big.
Wow.
Liquid go down in the position they're at. Now it's up towards Northern Lights, Ents, and Tornado Energy to push further ahead. Tico doesn't even have a scope. Maybe you don't need it. I mean, it looks pretty good just on stock right now. Good enough to find Kemba. Maybe good enough to find the rest of Na'Vi.
Oh no.
Maybe not. Goodbye. Pick your poison. You're done. Na'Vi want your building. You have been evicted.
Enough to get the res off? Potentially. Potentially, but he now knows there is danger of putting a player inside the building. Ab oversteps the boundaries and actually gets the job done. Navi down in 10th. Ents moving as a pack. Needs to be a nice clean sweep here. Party Beetle tanked up. Ab out of... I know you're a bit of a god individually, but Christ, you should not be alive in this circle yourself.
Oh, that's a nade. Tekker's big old lob towards Example. That's going to be frustrating. It should be a res, I think. Oh, if Tixu gets another. Go on, Tixu. Is that good? And let's see. Does that quite find Alia? It might do. Oh, that's huge. Tixu, because remember, Tornado Energy are in a big 2-2 split. An unrecoverable 2-2. If they lose out on, one of these 2 splits, you can't get them back on their feet. And that's exactly what's happened here. So Melman and who's the other player over there? I think it's Quizzy. Can't be picked up. Oh, sorry, they can't get to pick up their teammates. So unless they do a mad send with a vehicle, which is super risky, but Melman's in a vehicle, and I mean, he's trying it. He's trying to get Alia back up.
If he somehow manages to pull this off, this is just an absolute Madness. He's gone to his teammate's body to clearly pick up the smokes off of his corpse. Puts them down.
Keeping eyes towards that, looking to see if he can grab the attention of Melman and co. Maybe open up an opportunity. Spyro's gone down. That's Northern Lights eliminated at this point. Now, we're going to have to look towards Tornado Energy and Ents as to who finishes potentially first. But beyond that, Omicron looking very pretty here. 4 standing, good side of the circle. Can they be clean, though?
Page with a bit of a spam and a nade. It comes through finally. Bit of Party Beetle down. More nades will follow. Ab there. Tekers, he's involved, but my god, he has no HP. If he walks forward, that's a whole lot of fire on the floor for him to be standing on. There's one behind him also. You'd expect a full clean sweep on this. Ents do get involved onto the backside of Tornado Energy. They remove them from the ditch, and now they can go toe-to-toe with Omicron across the road. Finally, they find him, and he's down, so this is clean. But it's two-sided the roads. A team of 3 and a team of 4. How much you...
Case anyone tries to flank it out. Evolution should shoot Uber. Don't know which way it's going to win out. It does go Evolution's way, but now they know what's on that side. So Rustamar and Tixu instantly focus towards it.
It's on fire.
Look at Gemty. Look at this isolated play. Got to be careful because it seems like he's unaware that Levin might be in this position. Very focused on She Created. Rustamar's dead in the water. That's done for. Tixu finds Evolution. More points to be had for Ents, but they are down to limited numbers. Omicron, a couple of fights on a couple of fronts, though. They could be isolated, but it's down to someone like Levin or She Created to instigate this, because right now, Omicron should be able to handle the pressure.
They're so tunnel vision, though, towards IW. And there's no real hard cover for them to... I mean, you have a slight dip in the road, but... the backlines have to be held. That one player, Vasco, is so vitally important, and now they can open up from 2 different fronts. That's huge. Clear the backline. Gemty sees him dead to rights, gets both of them, bangs them out, and they're into second place. Now all 4 players standing for Omicron. Lay down the law. Gemty is feeling it. He's going off. This is surely Omicron's game. They're firing on all cylinders. It's job done. Match 15, we end it with a win.